I need to look there instead of here. Do you know how hard it is? Baada kujiangalia tu, nitaje kuangalia huko. Hivi tafuta njia nyingine ya kufanya hivi vitu jamani. Hebu angalia huyu Simba. Ana manani makali lakini this is my buddy. You'll be seeing him in a lot of videos, so be friendly and be nice. Mmenisikia? Hello there, welcome back to the Binti Malu channel. If you're watching my videos for second, third, fourth, fifth time, thank you so much for tuning back in, and I appreciate your support by watching these videos. And if you've never seen my videos before, I am Binti Malu and I make videos about Africa and Africans and education, budgeting, talking about life, and offering my advice if it's needed, although I'm not qualified as I stated in my previous videos, but I will try to help whenever I can. Anyway, let's get to the topic at hand today. I will be talking about some of the myths or not so mythical things that people say about Africa and Africans, and this video will be my opinion. The people will agree or disagree with me. You have every right to your opinion, but this is what I think, and I feel like some people will relate because some of the things that I've been saying about Africa and Africans are totally false, while others have some truth in it. So let's dive into this. In terms of Africa being poor, that is totally false. We have so many resources, we have so many wildlife, we have so many minerals, but we just have so many riches in terms of resources in Africa. And someone saying that, I feel like either they don't know that Africa is a rich continent, or they just don't want to believe that Africa is a rich continent. In whatever case, Africa is a blessed continent, and we are blessed with so much richness, and at times it's exploited either by Africans or by people from other countries, and they keep these riches to themselves, so Africa cannot develop as a continent. So it's a rich continent and it's a blessed continent, and Africa as a continent, it is definitely not poor. So that's a total false. As for Africans being poor, that has some truth in it. Not all Africans are rich, and neither all Africans poor. There's some Africans who are poor just because in every culture there are people who are less fortunate, or I don't know how to keep it, but the people, not everyone is rich in any culture. So there are some Africans who are poor, and then there are some Africans are rich. So this statement is somewhat true, because we can say all Africans are rich. That would be a lie. So not all Africans are poor, neither are all Africans rich. So this has some truth in it. False, totally false. Africa is a big continent, and there is no way any individual can know all Africans. So when someone comes up to us Africans and tell me, oh, I know such and such, that's from Africa, do you know them? And if I say no, they'll be looking at me like, but you're from Africa, you should know them. There's so many people that I don't know that are from Africa, and that is okay, because Africa is a big continent. There is no way I will know every person in Africa. I don't even know 1% of all Africans, so keep it in mind. We don't know all Africans. Africa is a big continent, and no one individual will know every African. Yes, we have some similarity, and we can understand the cultures between different countries, because some of the cultures are just permanent in all African countries, but don't all know each other. So that is a totally false statement. Again, this statement is both true and false. There's some Africans who are lazy and some Africans who are very hardworking and productive. Personally, I am surrounded by Africans who are hardworking. I haven't come across Africans who are just lazy and sitting around doing nothing. Maybe it's just the Africans I've met, but the Africans I know are very hardworking. They try to work hard, be it in education or at their jobs, just to provide a better life for their family. And it's just a principle we were brought up with. Africans, we have not been very fortunate as most of the Western countries. We are blessed in our own ways, but at the same time we are not as developed as most countries. So we try our best to catch up with other people. Whenever we come to Western countries, we try our best to learn what we can and use our education either to enhance our lives and our family lives and our society as well, or to go back home and help other people and help our countries. So I feel like Africans are hardworking. Some people might disagree with me, and that's your opinion, but personally I think Africans are hardworking. So in my opinion, it is a false statement, although I do acknowledge that not all Africans are hardworking, but the ones I know are very hardworking. So for me, it will be false. But at the same time, for other people, it might be true, depending on which Africans you've met. So this is our in-between. Personally, it's false. Other people might think it's true because there are people who are lazy, just like in every culture. Not everybody is hardworking. There are people who are going to be lazy and waiting for other people to do things for them. So it's true and false. I just made a video about this, so if you haven't watched it, go ahead and click the button at the top right corner and you should see the video. But basically my viewpoint is that there's no proper way to speak English. If you think African don't speak proper English because of our accent, then something is just not right. Every individual has an accent when you're speaking English, because English differs beyond the borders, so there is no one particular way to speak proper English. So someone saying that Africans who don't speak proper English, please explain to me what you mean and tell me how proper English is spoken, because in my opinion, English is spoken in various type of ways. You just can't say this is one way to speak English and that's how everybody should speak it. That's just wrong. So Africans, we do speak proper English. We might speak English with an accent, but it's understandable. It takes time for someone to understand us, but we are speaking English words, so that one is a total false. Totally. Because Africans who know to speak English, they definitely speak English with their accent, but it's still proper. So for me, it's a false. Total false. Tough one, right? But Africa has developed. We are not how we used to be 10, 20, 30 years ago. If we did nothing to help ourselves, then we wouldn't be where we are. So we have done so many things to help ourselves. Yes, some of our communities, we are brought up to believe that either we should receive aid from other people and just sit there and wait on that. And we have this sense of community and the communal upbringing that if I can do something, I know someone else can be able to do it, so they're going to do it, and then whatever they can't do, I can do it, so then we can benefit each other and spread our resources, which is a great thing. But at the same time, it doesn't make people think. It doesn't want people to expound about their minds that if I can do something, I either expect the government to help me out or my community. Helping each other is great, but if you have the ability to support yourself, start with that first and then go seek for help once you know you've exhausted your resources. So yes, as Africans, we are at times not eager to do things for ourselves just because we know someone else can do it for us. It is just how we've been brought up, in my opinion, because of the communal living, as I said before. And also because, there's so many countries who are willing to help Africa because they believe we are very poor. And yes, the help is great, the aid is great, but the aid at times discourages people to work because they know someone is out there willing to help them, so why should I go ahead and work when I can get something for free? So yeah, there are times whereby we don't do things for ourselves because we believe someone else can do it for us. But saying that Africans don't do anything, that's false, because we have developed so much from 10, 20, 30 years ago. So that is a false statement. Yes, there might be people who do nothing because of they believe that they're entitled to get what they need, but Africa as a continent has developed, and Africans have developed. We are becoming more educated, we are learning so many things as we go along in life. So saying that Africans, we do nothing for ourselves, or Africa does nothing for themselves, that's a false statement in my opinion. So there are 5 of the misconceptions, or not such misconceptions, about Africa. And if you know any misconception about Africa that I haven't tackled, then go ahead and comment below. There's so much more I haven't talked about, and some of my friends and I will make a video next time and talk about these misconceptions, so stay tuned for that. I don't know when it's gonna be, but hopefully it's gonna be soon. Basically between next month and this month, somewhere in between there, we're gonna make that video. So stay tuned if you want to see that video, because they're gonna be different opinions and it's gonna be so much fun. This is just a taste of some of the misconceptions. Anyway, so that's it for this video. If you've liked it, go ahead and subscribe below and hit the bell button so you can be notified every time there's a new video and you never miss out. Thank you so much for watching this, and keep spreading the African love, whatever kind of love you have to offer, because there is no room for hate. Until the next video, bye bye. Kwaheri, nitawaona baadaye. Kwaherini. 3 is that Africans don't speak. Is that number 4? Okay, this is number 3. I think so. I might have confused this one with the previous one, but this is number 3. Number 3 is that Africa. So let's just correct that, hopefully. Or you can just make this number 2.